During a chemistry class, Henry, Emma, and Olivia discovered that when two or more elements are chemically combined, they form something with completely different properties from the individual elements. What is this new substance called? You got it! Your choice compound is right. What is any substance added to food that results or may reasonably be expected to result directly or indirectly in it, becoming a component or otherwise affecting the characteristics of any food? Clear logic. Your choice food additives is sound and 100% true.
Emma, Elijah, and Ava are having a debate about elements in modern chemistry. They need your help to settle the argument. Which of the following is an example of an element?
Smart move. Iron is an accurate answer. Describes requirements for a food safety management system and sets out what requirements an organization must meet to demonstrate it can control food safety hazards. You chose ISO 22000, and it is correct. David, Rohan, and Zoe are experimenting in their chemistry lab. They discover that a dash has different properties than the elements that form it. Strong choice. Compound is the right answer. Grace, Maya, and Henry are having a picnic. They brought different food items. Which of these food items is an example of a heterogeneous mixture? Nicely done. Tossed salad is a solid answer. Name the cause of food spoilage in the picture above. Smart pick. Biological gas production from bacteria growth is the correct choice. Food additives can prevent food from. Good thinking. Spoiling developing mold is the right answer. Which best describes nutrients? Great job. Chemicals found in food is the accurate answer.
Dash is the discipline in which engineering, biological and physical sciences are used to study nature of food.
Correct. Food science is the right answer. The study of chemical processes and interactions of the biological and non-biological components of foods. You're right. Food chemistry is the correct answer. Which food additive is used to create mayonnaise and ice cream, which requires mixing water and fat? Solid response. Emulsifier is a valid choice. For a good sauce, claim a food would have to contain how many % of Drervi or Udi per serving? Sharp thinking. 10-19% is the right choice. What is added in the process of treating and handling food to stop or greatly slow down spoilage? Perfect. Food preservatives is the correct choice. Study of the makeup, structure, and properties of substances and the changes that occur to them. Excellent choice. Chemistry is the right answer. His method of research is one of the extremes because he uses actual humans to ingest food. Well done. Polcara is the right choice. A substance intentionally added that affects the nature and quality of food is called dash. Great thinking. Food adulterant is the right choice. Stage of food chemistry and food development, wherein the people are dependent on hunting. On track. Hunter-gatherer stage is the correct answer. These enzymes are produced by the body to perform various complex biochemical processes. Well reasoned. Metabolic enzymes is the correct choice. Which process is used to test whether dyes in food coloring is safe for consumption? Right choice. Chromatography is the best answer.
Lipids act as a leavening agent in food. This is due to the slight dash of molecules.
Exactly. Polarity makes sense and it is right choice. What food additives are added to flour to improve its color or its use in baking?
Nice selection. Flour treatment agents is the correct and valid answer.
Food rich in following vitamins a potent defender against bacterial infections.
Correct response. All of the above is the most accurate answer.
In food spoilage, which of these factors has the fastest rate of deterioration? War. Well picked. Biological is the correct answer.
Which of the following is a factor that affects the storage stability of food?
Good job. Your answer, all the mentioned, works well here. The amount of energy obtained when digesting a set amount of food is called. Valid point. The calorie is true. If something is considered a leavening ingredient, what does that mean? Bravo. Adds airiness to a food, makes it rise, is the answer. Substance that does not contain carbon or only has single carbon atoms.
Right again. Inorganic compounds is a valid answer.
The diet which contains all the nutrients in proper amount is called. Nice work. You chose balanced diet and it is correct. Which of the following is considered not a major component in food?
Excellent. Minerals is a brilliant choice.
The following are all possible risks of food adulteration except. You chose food improvement, and it is correct. These are additives that improve appearance and can protect food. Correct response. Glazing agents is the most accurate answer. Which of the following food items are responsible for growth? Great thinking. Proteins is the right choice. Which of the following is not a way to slow down food decay? Well done. Gracing is the right choice. What preserves the food by taking the moisture away? Excellent. Dehydration is a brilliant choice. It is the energy required to disintegrate a semi-solid food. Nicely done. Gumminous is a solid answer. Sterilization can be used to preserve food. What does it do? Correct. Uses high temperature is the right answer. Which describe good lab practices when testing food samples? Right choice. 4 and 1 is the best answer. Which of the following is not a function of lipids in food? Smart move. Sweetener is an accurate answer. Science which deals with molecular composition of food is. Well reasoned. Food chemistry is the correct choice. The label belongs on the package of which food we tested. Right again. Dried apple is a valid answer. Which of the following causes chemical changes in food? Nice work. You chose cooking and it is correct. The compound obtained at the end of a chemical reaction. Perfect. Product is the correct choice. What is the name for the reaction which turns food bad? Valid point. Autooxidation is true. How can you tell if something is an acid, base, or salt? Sharp thinking. Use an indicator is the right choice. An example of an element is dash.
Great job. Ion is the accurate answer.
What is the main function of baking powder in a food? Exactly. Leavening makes sense and it is right choice. The molecules upon which enzymes act are called dash. Solid response. Substrate is a valid choice. Which food molecule gives the most energy per gram? You're right. Fats is the correct answer.
Which food contains starch and fat but not glucose?
You got it? Your choice, peanuts, is right. Which of the following helps reduce food spoilage? Smart pick. Darkness, no air, low temperature, no moisture is the correct choice. Electron in a partially full shell is called air. Good job. Your answer, valence electron, works well here. How many minerals are required on the food label? Good thinking. Only 2 minerals is the right answer. Cal is reading a food label. How is fat measured? Nice selection. Grams is the correct and valid answer. Which food materials are best energy suppliers? Clear logic. Your choice, fats, is sound and 100% true. Which of these could be signs of food spoilage? Excellent choice. All of the above is the right answer. These additives stop food from becoming rancid. Bravo, antioxidants is the answer. What foods that will weaken your immune system? On track. Salty food is the correct answer. Which food contains starch, glucose, and fat? Well picked. Granola bar is the correct answer. Besides giving us energy, food must also dash. Strong choice. Provide building materials is the right answer. Which food is excellent source of vitamin C? You chose all of the answers given. And it is correct. Which is not the function of food additives? Solid response. Prevent allergic reactions for certain people is a valid choice. Which of these is not a chemical reaction? Smart pick. Condensation of warm air is the correct choice. G is indicative of what? Good job. Your answer, how fast carbohydrates can be hydrolyzed, works well here. The most common solvent in food is dash. Great job. Water is the accurate answer. What do we call chemicals in our food? Nice selection. Nutrients is the correct and valid answer. Rhodamine B is food adulterant in. Smart move. Sweet potato is an accurate answer. The key to good nutrition is dash. Right choice. Balancing different kinds of food is the best answer. Food additives can prevent from. Excellent. Spoiling is a brilliant choice. Functions of lipids include dash. Correct response. All of the above is the most accurate answer.
Which best describes nutrients?
Great thinking. Chemicals in food is the right choice. What is another name for salt? Nicely done. Sodium is a solid answer. What does pickling of food do? Perfect. Lowering FF is the correct choice.
What is vacuum packing about?
Bravo. Reducing oxygen supply is the answer. Which tests food for starch? Nice work. You chose iodine solution and it is correct. The food molecules are dash. Correct. Carbohydrates, fats, and proteins is the right answer.
What causes food to decay?
Malad point. Microbes is true. Food chemistry focuses on.
Strong choice. Both are correct is the right answer. What is the function mess? Good thinking. To enhance the taste of food is the right answer. What is food decay? Well picked. Chemical reaction by microbes is the correct answer. How you will get all these quiz questions in PDF books format.
You got it? Your choice contact Narayan Changder is right.